Hey y'all, I did not make a video yesterday, mainly because I was really busy and I feel kind of bad with this head cold, but I think I'm doing some better today. And this morning I cut for our florist, and Hugh and I took those flowers over to her, and this evening I'm cutting for ducats and presnels, and we'll make the bouquets early a.m. and Chelsea and I will take those over in the morning. So I had a flat tire this morning on the Kubota, and you said it's because the valve stem was bad. I didn't know what was going on because I had the forks were on the Kubota, and I needed the bucket on the Kubota. So I brought the forks over and dropped it off, and I was trying to line the bucket up so that I could lock it in place. And every time I would just about have everything lined up, it would slide sideways about 4 inches. And I'd back up and get it all working again, everything lined up, and I'd pull it forward and it would slide about 4 inches the other way. Well, I was being a little bit abusive with my language anyway. After about the 10th or 12th time, I couldn't figure out what was going on with the tractor. And so I got off and went around front, and when I saw that poor tire, I thought, I'm sorry, dude. That was my bad. Totally my bad. I don't know how Huey got this in here. He's got that post behind the back and this post behind the front. So let's see if we can wiggle this thing out of here. But anyway, we got it fixed. I actually touched it a bit. Yeah. He might have to come and squirrel this thing out of here. I don't know how he managed to do this. One of the problems is that I just need to lift it. Come on, Patty, you know better than this. Get the bucket out of the way. Lift it up over top of his little thing. That toolbox has been on the back of that tractor for 15 gazillion years. There. Now, I'm not sure why he had to put it in there side goggled like that, and I'm going to fuss at him, but I could have used a little bit more intelligence and figured out how to get it out. However, I'm just going to say it's because I don't feel good. I'll use that as my excuse. What do you think? Alright, and I had told y'all that I was going to show you what the final plan was with the bird lot. I've got it written down on paper. I've got it gridded out on grid paper. So I'm very excited about it. Now it's just a matter of getting it done. And it may not get started until we have the flower season September looks like it's going to wind us up. So there you go. It's just been a really weird season with Chelsea feeling bad and being so sick, and me not being able to keep up with everything, and Hugh's knee being bad, and on top of that, the weather being so crazy. I'm going to stop right here and turn this off. I'm sorry, that's fairly loud, but I want to show you from right here. All right. I've got on my gardening shoes. I like these puppies. Hugh told me the other day he wants a pair, so I'm going to have to see if I can find him a pair in size 15. Yes, he wears a size 15. So we're starting up here at the dog lot. This is where everything begins. I will build a wooden, actually, we're taking these panels down and just moving them up here. And we're just pretty much dividing this dog lot in half, this direction, over to about right there and back. My doggies are old. They come outside, they do their business. Bela travels around with Hugh. The dogs will run up and down the fence, barking at the birds, and those sorts of things, but they don't need a really big dog lot to do that, because the birds will still be on this side of the fence, and they can still run up and down the fence to bark at them. So that's the first thing. And now when that fence is moved, this section right here, about 20 feet, probably not nearly that much, I can't remember how much I had figured for it, will be, half of it will be the pullet enclosure and half of it will be the geriatric enclosure. And the pullets will have a house over here on this side, which makes it much easier to run electricity, because I can run electricity straight into the house over here to put a heat lamp. And I may end up putting a heat lamp in the geriatric house as well, just because. But the geriatric house will be over on that side. And in the dog lot itself, I'm going to build a big dog house. Not that my guys are ever really outside, but when Chelsea and I start teaching workshops, there may come a time, for the first year or so anyway, until we get everything in the back totally finished as far as the porch and the railings and all that, people will be coming in on this end and walking through. So the doggies will need to come outside, and they'll need to have somewhere dry and warm for maybe the couple hours that a workshop goes on. So this side over here will be the dog lot and a dog house. This side right here, about probably I think 15 feet and all the way over. And this is really wide. This is probably about 50 feet long. That end over there will be the geriatric enclosure. This end over here will be the pullet enclosure. And then there will be another fence, but the next fence will just be made out of chicken wire and 2x3s. And what I plan on doing, and Chelsea had made this suggestion, instead of using all this lumber to make all these crazy fences, we're going to make just a frame as wide as the chicken wire and as tall as we want it. For the peafowl house, it's going to be 8 feet tall. For the chicken enclosure, it's probably going to be about 6.5 feet, because I want to make sure they can't fly over it any longer. So the pullet fence on this side and the geriatric fence on this side, inside the dog lot, I'm confusing everybody now, will be made out of the frames that the chicken wire will be stapled to, and then they will just be attached together. And now in here, so see, that fence will be totally gone, and there will be the space will probably go back almost to the walnut tree, so it will enlarge the chicken lot just ever so slightly. And then this is going to be the new. Hugh is going to take the fence down. I know we had said we were going to build the pond in the front, but that just seems to be becoming more of an issue than we want it to be. And what we've decided is to deepen and cut the size of that pond in half. It will be about half the size that it is now and a whole lot deeper. And then we will, keep it filled as we need to. I can even use my little pump and fill up my watering troughs that I carry around on the trailer and bring it over once a week to fill it up. But we're going to have to put some kind of a little filtration pump in there for dirty pond water, and maybe some pond plants, just different things to help keep it clean. And so listen to them, noisy critters. You guys see how extraordinarily big the babies are now. Let's go over and look at them real quick. I know I get lost in the middle of a sentence, I'm sorry. But anyway, look at that. You see that? That is a big baby goose. Where's the other guy? Where's the other guy? Oh, he's up there in the front. It's going to eat a little bit. You see how big they are? They grow so fast. So, from the corner right there of that one blue kiddie pool, from that corner, straight back, right there, will be the goose lot. The geese don't need a huge amount of land space. They'll have more because half of that pond will be land, but they need a really nice, deep, functional pond, and we're just going to figure out how to make that happen. I'm going to go and talk to somebody that does ponds, even if I have to pay them a fee, and I probably will, and that's fine, but find out how to make this happen without spending a gazillion dollars on like a pond liner and all that sort of thing. We just don't have that right now. But I think if it's just deep enough, and if we have a little pump in there, an aeration pump, is what I was trying to remember a few moments ago, just to keep it aerated. And if I just bring water in here, I have that 250-gallon thing that I water out of, and just bring that over here once a week or so and pump it in there between the little, and what's in there, you can see what's in there is actually still coming from the wet weather spring. And then of course we've had a bit of rain. And if I have to, I can still run some water down from the spring house, which I'd rather not do, but I can if I need to. But if we keep it filled well enough and we keep it aerated, I think that'd be a nice situation for the geese. That little house right there, when Hugh takes that fence out, it's going to go to the burn pile. And this one right here, it's going to go to the burn pile. And I'm planning on building another chicken coop about the size of this one that Aaron had brought from Georgia, and put it about right here, because we're hoping to have 50 or 60 actual laying chickens. The chickens that are no longer really laying, they will go to the geriatric ward because they can finish out their life happily. So from the corner of that fence right there, all the way along to just over top of where that little used to be the duck house. I've got it, the roof on its side goggled. It can come down flat and even. It's just on a little lift right now. That whole area right there will be the goose lot. That will give this whole section over here to the chickens. And that should be enough room for that many chickens. And then, I've already described to you how I'm planning on doing the peafowl house, but I will do that again. And this wall, as a matter of fact, you guys, are you serious? Knock it off, weirdos. This fence right here that's going up for the geese and down to about right there will also be made of just the chicken wire attached to a frame. And so it will be easy enough to build. Just kind of a, you know, that's one of those let's get her done. So this whole wall right here will also be just chicken wire. And then over here, and see, this is the goose house, and they never really used it. For a while, some of them were laying in there, and then they decided that they liked the chicken coop better. But having them divided away from the chickens, I think they'll start using this again. But from the corner, it's kind of a rounded corner, but from the corner right there up to about right there will also be another chicken wire fence. And then also that wooden fence right there will be gone, and then the chicken wire fence will continue down the side and across to the front of their little house. And that whole area will be built out of the chicken wire fence again. And then over top, we got our netting last week, but we have aviary netting, and it will go, I see tail up there, it will go over the top of this house, and we'll have some kind of a pole. Hugh, while he has the fence down, will probably bring over Sean's digger tool, the big round thing that kind of bores down into the ground, and put in 2 really deep ones, deep holes that we may go and see about buying a couple telephone poles and burying those, and then at the top putting a T cross so that the aviary netting will be held up nice and tall. But so that's it. And now, I can't tell you the exact reason I came to the decision. I have you guys some greens. I'm bringing it in a minute. I can't tell you exactly why we came to the decision of keeping all the birds in the back. I think part of it was just because I wanted to. I'd like to keep them all contained in the same area. The pond in the front was beginning to feel like more of an issue than this pond back here even. And this is I don't know if you can tell, but this is a really large area, and especially when we take in half of the dog lot. It's a really large area. So I'm just going to keep them all contained back here. They'll be divided just by the chicken wire fences. They can see one another. They can just have their own little communities and still be part of a larger community. And yeah, so I think that's the final plan. It's usually pretty close to a final plan when I finally get it on paper, and I have it on paper now. Look how dirty the water is. I gave them fresh water back here at about 10 o'clock this morning. You guys are gross. You're just gross. Yes, you are. Good gravy. And this back here is a wet mess. Everything is wet from all the water. All right, y'all. I just wanted to let you know what the new plan is. It will not start getting implemented until after the flowers are finished, but hopefully that's listen to me. I'm saying hopefully that'll be within, hey bud, how are you? Within the next 2 weeks. Yeah. I'm ready for this season to be finished. And that's kind of sad, but it's been a hard season. And I'm ready to start planning for next year. But I want all this infrastructure to be totally behind us. Where you going, baby? So that next year is just taking care of flowers and deliveries, getting our little stand. Our stand will be finished, getting it under control, doing the workshops. There's still a lot of things that have to be done, even as far as getting ready inside, like I said, with the gallery and the class space and all that. So I'm just wanting to work on that. I'm tired of flowers for this year. And I just want to work on projects and get them done, because this summer has been so crazy that the projects have been, put on hold. But our biggest concern is to get Chelsea well and help her move into a better space with the way she's feeling physically and emotionally. We need her well. But anyway, I love y'all much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.